Hi, Dad. It is Thursday. Thursday, July 24th. I've just gotten to the cottage. As I promised, I would do a video to see what's going on here. Some of it makes me a little bit nervous considering what I've got going on in the greenhouse. So I will turn the camera around and we'll go take a look. I haven't looked at all yet, so it'll be a surprise to me as well. All right, hang on, here we go. Okay, you can see that the little garden shed is happening. So the windows aren't in solid, but they will be pretty soon. We still have to do the roofing and the door. We have to make the door. The pieces of the door come in this kit. So I can't remember the actual dimensions of it, like, I don't know, 8 by 10 maybe? That's what it looks like. So it'll be good. High roof. Gonna put lots of shelves in there. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Here comes the reckoning. Oh, good God. I'll cram my door behind this heavy pot so it doesn't flap in the breeze. And yeah, everything's kind of taken over. It's very intimidating. Can't get very far in there. So this is various kinds of tomatoes. I think there's 3 or 4 different kinds in there. The ones along here are all the determinate ones, and that batch in there is the indeterminate ones. You can tell, but because of they're so much shorter than the others. Then I have some eggplant plants in there, and then some pepper plants in here, and some hot pepper plants there. Back in the back there's a couple of loofa plants which aren't even blooming. I don't know what's going to happen with them not. These are the spaghetti squash plants. I'm going to step in the greenhouse, turn off this fan. Oh, look, the water's running right now. It's 10:47. There, fan's off. I have the water set to run from 10 to 11 every day. Oops, just kicked my plant. Oh, there's a female flower. It looks like it may actually have been pollinated. That's another female flower as well. And there's another. So maybe, this is a male flower. It doesn't have anything underneath the stem, like none of those little bulby parts underneath, right? So I'm gonna pause the camera while I peel back the petals and expose its little parts, and rubby those little parts with those. So hang on while I pause you. Okay, that's what we're left with. I peeled off the flower part and just tossed it on the ground. And I'm going to see if I can get close enough to help the germination along a little bit. Rubby. Same here. I'm pretending I'm a bee. I don't know how much I have to do. That one's a male flower. Those are more male flowers. There's the flowers down here. Looks like they're male flowers. Are you dizzy yet? Me flipping this camera around? Yeah, those are all male flowers. So I'm just gonna hiding you behind the leaf. I'm just gonna continue to rub on these a little bit. And hopefully that'll be good. I'm just gonna stick that in there and walk away. There's another thing in the back corner that I want to check on. Ooh, look at all my tomatoes. Tomatoes growing. This is my little ginger forest in the back corner. It smells like ginger back here too. So that's what's going on. They're sending out new shoots, which I like. New shoots. It's also weeds in here too, like crazy. Once I dig everything out, I'll just turn those weeds over. So yeah, this is the loofa plant, but it doesn't look like it's going to do anything about flowers. My eggplant plants, I think they're objecting to the huge range in temperatures because they're flowering, but there are no fruits setting. As for the peppers, I'm getting the peppers on the hot peppers. They're called Czech black, but it looks like there's nothing on the bell peppers, like the sweet peppers. Oh, look, this one is a female flower too. All right, so work my way over there. I'm gonna grab me another male flower. Pardon the blasting of the I need to get me some pollen. All right. Male flower. Pollinating. Get your fingers out from in front of the camera lens, Linda. Pollinating, pollinating, pollinating. Do, 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 do. Please do something. Looks like this was another female flower too, and that will be as well. All right, cross your fingers for me. These tomatoes are too damn big. They're falling over. Those ones back there are tied up with string from the ceiling, but I was in a rush, so I didn't get the ladder out and hang more string, so I think I need to come in here with a pair of trimmers and trim off everything that does not have tomatoes on it. Woo, that was a little scary. Okay, white kale. Looks like it could use a little bit of water, but it's doing okay. These are my onions and my leeks. So the ones with the flat leaves are leeks. And of course, the ones with the round leaves are onions. That's a little delicata squash plant that I planted for a leaf at. And this is a cucumber. Wasn't sure what it was going to do. I'm going to pause this for a second, put the phone down so I can get this onion out of the way and try to get this cucumber close to the trellis. All right, there we go. Onion out of the way, onion out of the way, cucumber near trellis. I think today I will run some water through that soaker hose. So these are ones that were left in the garden from last year. I just popped them back in here. I don't know why I did that, because I know that they don't regrow very well, that they will, of course, go to seed. On the leeks, I don't mind because I ran out of leek seeds. So now I'll have plenty for next year. That's a composter that got emptied so we could build the shed. And it's just sitting in there decomposing. Every once in a while I open that and I roll it around so it doesn't go anaerobic. My rhubarb patch down here, it's past its prime for the year, so it's just hanging in there. This is my zucchini. The one on the right is a green zucchini and the one on the left is a yellow zucchini. Jeez, look at the leaves on that sucker. So that didn't go in the ground till after we got back from Manitoba, so that's why it's not huge. These are a couple of little spinach plants. You know what that is, don't you, Dad? That's the Swiss chard that you gave me. What was the name of that? I've forgotten. I have it inside. And the arugula that I have in here is doing really well. I think it was just planted like a week ago. Must have been 2 weeks. There we go. Ford Hook Giant. That's that kind of Swiss chard. Let's go down by the lake. I might have to redo the audio on this part. I haven't done an audio voiceover yet. but I might do it for this part because it's pretty windy out here. So I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot of background noise once I'm down there and I start talking. So hopefully I'll be able to do an over audio thing. Well, I think I have figured out how to do voiceover. So let's take a look. So I haven't done much with the garden. I think next year in this area I'm going to put in a lot of milkweed. Way back in the corner there is a plant that is sort of like a kind of a milkweed, I think. That's it right there. So if that does well in there, I'm hoping that the monarch type milkweed will go in there. So I'll pull out the hostas and put that in and see how it goes. So I haven't done a whole lot with the garden beds this year. Bruce has put a few things in, but for me it's just the asparagus and the garlic from last year and the mulberry trees. So in this bed, Bruce has got some peppers. They're living life happily in there. I think they're jalapeno and one other kind. He's got some peas in there, I think, and looks like some cucumbers over here. I'm not 100% sure if that's a kind of squash or not, but I'll say it is because I think it is. So this is my main garlic bed. That's the kind of grow every year. It's not as big this year as it has been in other years, but it's just about ready, so I'll be digging it out and storing it anyway. Last year they were bigger and I had more of them, but I had way too much. I had so much left over drying out at the end of the year. I had to throw a lot of it out. This is another variety I've grown. It's a little bit bigger, looks a little bit healthier, but they'll both work. Here's my asparagus bed. So that's it for this one. Can you see the little monarch caterpillar in there, just below the flower? When I came up to this plant, I could see that some of the leaves were eaten. See half a leaf there and the same on the other side. That lets me know that they've been here. There's another one, that lower leaf as well. I'd like to get a whole bunch more of this. I hadn't actually seen any of the monarchs flying around, but obviously they did come in and lay some eggs because there's their So I told you
pupae.
that we bought the lot across the road from our cottage. And this is it. A lot of the local people had been using it for wood storage, and some of them still do. That's okay. So we cleaned it up. Bruce put a couple containers in here. I have a rhubarb patch back here too. I put a pile of manure, covered it with leaves, planted some rhubarb in here, and the rhubarb is like super, super happy. Look at this. It's very happy here. Anyway, yeah, he bought a couple containers and ordered some roof trusses and put them on. Made a roof. And then he and I covered it with a press board. And then he put down the Tyvek sealant stuff. Then he put on a bunch of metal roofing. Most of it bought from the auction sites, but some more of it from Walls Metal Roofing Company. So the ridge cap still needs to go on. When we were underneath, I looked up and I could see the sky, but other than that, it's done. He'll park his pontoon boat in there. Another part of this property is where we store all our extra wood chips. Because we have the wood chipper, which is stored in the containers. And we had a lot of plant material. So we run the chipper. And now we have a crap ton of mulch. Aletha and Brandon came down with the trailer one time and got a bunch of it. But technically speaking, you're not supposed to move stuff like this around because of one of the well, because of a variety of tree diseases. The woolly algid is popping up in hemlocks on the south shore, and we'd like to try to avoid the spread of that. So in the container are parts of Bruce's tractor. I know down this end is the wood chipper and the snow blower. Honestly, I can't remember what else is stored in them, but there'll be all kinds of stuff. And like I said, Bruce bought a pontoon boat, and the idea is to store it in the middle, put in a back and a door in the front.